A talk show that cuts to the truth, no matter how painful it might be, and no BS. Citizen Smith, Citizen Smith, Citizen Smith.
Here's a man who would not take it anymore. A man who stood up against the scum, the dogs, the filth. Here is someone who stood up.
It's time for Citizen Smith.
It's time for Citizen Smith. May 28th, Friday, Memorial Day weekend. Excellent. Wow, what a difference a year makes. Last year, we were all in a pandemic and lockdown. Now, free. Enjoy yourself. That's the CDC message. If you're vaccinated, you're safe. If you're not vaccinated, wear a mask. Too bad. It's your choice. Get a vaccination or wear a mask. 40% of Americans right now are in fully vaccinated status. Over 50%, one dose at least. Herd immunity, here we come. Although the experts say we'll really never meet herd immunity. 70% doesn't really give it the entire protection that herd immunity says it does. Last year, many scientists suggested that herd immunity threshold would be reached 60 to 70% of the population to be immune. But now scientists have revised that number upward to 80%, which might be a difficult number for us to get to. I don't see why we can't get to 90% by the new year. There's always going to be that 10% that aren't out there that don't want it, won't get it, and figure, if 80% of the people out there are already, if the COVID's going to disappear anyway, why should I bother at this point? It's one of those people, right? So that's where we're at. Here in Multnomah County in Portland, Oregon, we have 61% is the latest fully vaccinated individuals in the city of Portland. So why are we still in high risk? What is taking so long to get to low risk? Would the governor please, just get rid of limits to capacity in restaurants? There's no need for it anymore. We're at 61%. I know, Memorial Day weekend, she said low risk, but all right, let's go. Let's move. Let's just say, you know what? You can all go out anywhere you want without masks if you're fully vaccinated. If you don't have a full vaccination, it's your choice to put a mask on or not and take the risk of getting COVID. But there's no reason that the city of Portland shouldn't be 100%. No limits on capacity for restaurants. We're 61%. That is damn good. That's good enough. All the other cities and states, when they hit those numbers, are open. No limitations. Texas said that schools and government buildings, they can't mandate masks. We should be there too. Everybody should be there when you get to 60%. Anyway, Memorial Day weekend, get out, enjoy yourself. If you're fully vaccinated like myself, that's why I have the bat pin. Everybody should buy a bat pin. If you're fully vaccinated and somebody says, hey, you fully vaccinated? You just say, yes. I got this at this cool store called Pendleton's. It's got all these cool little taxidermy animals and all the rocks and plants. And this is actually made by a local artist. It's a ceramic bat pin. I said, you know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to go back to the store today or next week. I'm going to buy a bunch of them, give them to everybody. All my friends who are fully vaccinated, they'll get a pin, a bat pin. Anyway, the phone number here is 503-234-0762. 503-234-0762. That's a call-in phone number because we are not just a podcast anymore. Citizen Smith is a talk show taking phone calls from listeners and viewers at 9 a.m. on Friday. So if it's not 9 a.m. Pacific time, you can't call in because we do replay this as a recorded show. So I just wanted to touch base one more time. First of all, I was reading about Japan on the COVID thing. They're in a bad state. They're still in like lockdown mode until like a week before the Olympics. They're having 4,000 or so cases a day. You know, it's a very dense population on the island of Japan, and you got to figure they got a tough situation there with so many people, densely packed apartments. So those poor bastards, they're still in lockdown mode. They're strict. I mean, they're like, we got the Olympics coming. We're not messing. We can't mess around. Everybody stay in your homes. Don't go out until the Olympics, please. What are you doing, Justin?
You're too loud.
Oh, well, I don't know what. I thought you were pretending you're smoking a cigar. All right. Just talk to me then. Just talk in my headphones. I mean, you can talk to me.
I'm busy running things, bro.
What are you doing this Memorial Day weekend?
Buying a car for my son.
Are you going to have any fun? You going to have a cookout? What are you doing?
I don't know how fun that is. I mean, here, take my money. Here's a car for my kid. You know, that's about it. I've been looking around for a while, but heading down to Newburgh.
Where is Newburgh? What is that?
It's south, down by McMinnville, on your way to McMinnville.
What's in Newburgh?
They got a bunch of car lots down there. I have a friend that has
it's the car thing.
Yeah. The car thing.
You got to go all the way to Newburgh? You can't find a used car in Portland?
No, I've looked around Portland. I don't live in Portland. I live way
but
out.
this is where all the car dealerships are.
There's some car dealerships here, but there's a lot in Hillsboro. There's a lot out where I live as well. So,
yeah.
But I'm going to go down to Newburgh because I got to go down there anyways. I'm going to go look around. Fresh,
right.
Fresh eyes.
Very good. I wanted to just touch base one more time on the COVID-19 investigation. Biden wants an answer in 90 days. The origin of the pandemic, I talked about it last show. I love watching this. It's like dramatic stuff. So he's asked the intelligence community to redouble their effort to collect and analyze information. So when you say intelligence community, we're talking spies. They say spies. So we have spies in China still, I guess. It's tough to be a spy in China if you're from America. You know why? Because when you enter like Beijing airport like I did in 2019, they didn't do this in 2018 when I was living there. But when I returned in 2019, just to do some teaching, the first thing they do in the airport, if you're a tourist or anybody visiting, they fingerprint both your hands. I'm talking full hands, double fingerprinting type situation. Everything is fingerprinted on your way in. You essentially give up your personal rights when you enter the country of China. They have your fingerprints. And if you work there, I don't care what you're doing, they take your blood, you do a complete physical. They know everything about your body. They have every mark on your body. They have all your fingerprints. Welcome to China. Like one guy said to me, when you come to China, you give away all your personal rights and privacy. So first thing I thought was, if they have that kind of information on you physically, how the hell can you be a spy in this country? I said, man, this must be the toughest country in the world to be a spy. But I guess we got some there. It must be Chinese spies. They're not American spies coming in. They know you. They know you like that. Now that guy's a spy. Get him out. So there must be some Chinese people being paid off or something. That's what I figure. It's the only way I can see us getting information about this COVID through spies and intelligence. I guess we have some information about the 3 researchers they say were ill in November from the Wuhan Institute of Virology, which, by the way, I finally saw a picture of it in the Wall Street Journal today or no, it was the New York Times had a picture of it. And I was like, oh, so that's what that place. It's just like a plain brick-looking building. You'd never know it was the secretive institute funded by the Chinese military. Let me see, where is it? It's not in here. I wanted to show it to you if you haven't seen it. Was it in the Wall Street Journal? Sometimes I don't. I read so much. There it is.
It's like watching my dad in the morning read the paper.
Yeah, well, some of us read the paper still. You get that? Yeah, see it? That's it. That's where the virus is. That's where the virus is. That's where they're doing the research for biowarfare against the world. What do you think they're doing in that place? Just looking up, researching coronavirus just because of their curiosity? Bats carry this. Let's see what it is. It's biowarfare.
Not sure.
That's the next great warfare is not missiles and bullets. It's a virus that can be used on humanity to defeat the enemy. If it's funded by the military, the Wuhan Institute of Virology, what do you think they're doing in there? Other than releasing the virus accidentally. But the WHO is now going into phase 2 of their research and trying to look into what's caused the coronavirus, the WHO phase 2 research. But they're saying their phase 2 research is not focused on the lab leak possibility, hypothesis. They're focused on animal to human transmission, which is the more prevalent prospect so far. And they say if we tried to do any research at this Institute of Virology, we have little to no chance of revealing anything new. Because you're not going to get information from the Chinese at this point. Any facts that you can find, if we got any information, we already have it. Because everything else is being whitewashed right out of there. The lab leak hypothesis. We're going to deploy experts to there now. They need blood samples from the researchers who are sick. They're not going to get it. But they also said, in the phase 2 research, the WHO say one key part of the second phase is to do antibody tests on samples in blood banks, which they do have in Wuhan and elsewhere in China. She says this one researcher said the Wuhan blood bank normally destroys samples after 2 years, but they're committed to not doing that until antibody tests are done. So at least they're cooperating the Chinese in this area. So if they can go through these blood samples, I guess they can find out perhaps the type of transmission, where it might have come from, the animal it might have come from. I don't know. All this I find fascinating. I mean, we got to get to the bottom of where this thing came from and how we could prevent it from being transmitted again. I mean, the first thing you can do is stop eating wild animals, stop taking bats out of caves. That's pretty simple. Strict law enforcement around caves and jungles. Not so easy, but that's what we need to do. Am I the only one that is fascinated by this? I find this fascinating stuff, this whole research and investigation and where we head from here with this virus. Will we ever find out what truly happened? What animal was the primary transmitter? Was it a bat that went to a civet that then went to a handler from Vietnam that entered China? Anything's possible. And that's what we must find out. It's like to me, it's like a TV series I'm binging on. Every time I see stories about this thing, I can't wait to read more as we try to figure this out, this pandemic that we all lived through. 3.4 million people dead from the coronavirus worldwide. That number is much higher, they think. I mean, really, how accurate can we be? I'm sure a lot of people died of it without being diagnosed. In China alone, I bet you the numbers are 10 times, 100 times more than they've reported. What took place in Wuhan, those hospitals were filled to capacity. There were people that couldn't get into the hospitals by the thousands. So they weren't diagnosed. They probably just passed away without anybody knowing. But that's a lot of people that we have numbers on. Say 3.5 million and counting. Because in Brazil, India, Africa, these places, these regions are still suffering mass fatalities from this virus. Toll could be 5 million by the time it's under control or more. Who knows? Such as a pandemic. Boy, when I was living in China and this thing first broke out and I was telling people there's this weird virus and cities are shut down. Oh, it could be a pandemic, I said to myself and put it on my Facebook page. Had I known, I didn't know what a pandemic was, and I just, the term was there. To really understand and appreciate what we were going to have to go through. Masks and this, getting a vaccine. I mean, it's panic. Trying to get this thing under control, we have to get the vaccine quickly or people are going to, it was just panic. So now, 2 vaccines later, the bat pin, I'm free. And I look forward to getting back to some sort of normalcy in my life. We're almost there. I still got to wear my mask in my apartment. They said soon we won't have to. We're still waiting for the governor in Oregon to give us the green light to get rid of masks in certain situations. Kate Brown just waiting and waiting and waiting. I don't know what she's waiting for. Is she afraid to just let us be normal again?
You can't be you, Ken.
I walk around the sidewalk still in Portland, and there are still people wearing masks as they walk around in the outdoors. Even when they're by themselves. Just walking down the sidewalk with a mask on. Now I think some people have gotten to the point where they either enjoy the mask or they're just comfortable wearing it to the point where they don't want to, they may not ever take it off. Maybe they like their face being covered up. It's weird. It's like, come on, man. There's a point you got to get to relax. If you're fully vaccinated, take off your mask when you're walking around outside. You're not going to get the coronavirus. You can't. And you certainly won't be transmitting it walking by somebody if you've been fully vaccinated. So what are you wearing the mask for? Breathe. Let your face feel the free air again.
I thought they said that you could still be a transmitter. Is that false?
The chances of you transmitting it are very slim to none. That's what I've read. If you can't get it, you can't transmit it. If you're asymptomatic, if you have even a little bit of traces of it in your body, if you're vaccinated, the reason the virus can't harm you is because your antibodies are destroying it as it's in your body. It's not like it lingers in there for weeks. It's being destroyed, and thus it can't be transmitted easily. It could, but it would have to be an ideal situation where there's just enough of that virus to make it out of your nose or mouth and reach somebody who happens to be close enough to you without their own full vaccination. You put all those together, unvaccinated person doesn't have a mask on, the virus in your body is at a level that you can actually transmit it before your antibodies destroy it. What are the chances, put it all together, that it can be transmitted? Very slim to none. There's a point when you're fully vaccinated that you trying to transmit it to somebody who falls into the category of unvaccinated, no mask, and you've got enough of the virus in your system to actually spread droplets. The percentage is very, very minuscule to actually happen. That's my best explanation as a non-expert in the situation in what I've read. I mean, I just read today, the CDC said, if you're vaccinated, you're safe. Quote. That's it.
Rock
so
on.
Stop worrying about it. Jeez. Your chance.
I'm not worried about it. I'm just
Well, I
saying other
know.
people are.
Well, they're misinformed. They're paranoid. They suffer from phobia. They're fearful, and they're uninformed. Get vaccinated. You don't have a damn thing to worry about. That's the simplest solution. How hard is that? It's free. They're sitting around the vaccine places waiting for people to come in because nobody's coming in anymore because most people are vaccinated. The majority, 61% in Multnomah County, fully vaccinated. It's probably higher now, probably closer to 70%. It's enough. Let's live. Let's be free. And let's let this governor, for God's sakes, will you please limit, take the limitations off in our lives. It's over, Governor Kate Brown. We've defeated the pandemic. God, that woman frustrates me. Just waiting for her to make decisions. It's agonizing. It's like moving a railroad car without an engine. I wanted to just mention something other than COVID today. I've been following this Amazon story. Buying MGM. Their initial asking price was $9 billion. Well, Amazon bought MGM Studios for $6.5 billion. Man, this company's buying everything. The last big purchase they made was Whole Foods in 2017, $13.7 billion. Now they have the rights to such great movies, 4,000 films, their library, that they can now use in their streaming platform, which include the franchises James Bond, Rocky, Silence of the Lambs, Raging Bull, 12 Angry Men, one of the classics. And the TV catalog includes critically acclaimed shows such as The Handmaid's Tale, Fargo, and Vikings. This courtesy of the business page of the Wall Street Journal. So this is what Amazon's acquisitions include. I call them the United States of Amazon because they own most of the country. Stores, technical businesses, you name it. Jeff Bezos owns it. Whole Foods, $13.6 billion. MGM, $6.5 billion. Zappos.com, $1.2 billion. Ring, $1 billion. I'm not sure what Ring is.
That's the doorbell company, with the little camera in the doorbell.
Thus the name. But I knew you'd know that.
They were on Shark Tank. They made it big.
They were on Shark Tank?
Yep. Yeah. The Cuban bought into it.
And then Amazon bought it from Cuban?
I guess.
Mark
Cuban he became a part owner when he did his deal.
And that was a Shark Tank company.
Yeah.
Huh. So one of them really did make it big on that show.
There's been a lot of them that have made it big.
Justin knows everything. When he talks, you don't think he knows everything. But really, he's got a photogenic memory, especially TV stuff. Twitch Interactive, they own Twitch. $0.97 billion. Well, I say $970 million. Kiva Systems, $780 million purchase. PillPack. I don't know what that is, Justin. What's that?
It's a pharmacy. It's a pharmacy app.
$750 million. Okay, Justin, what's Kiva Systems?
What was it again?
Kiva.
Kiva? I thought that was a cannabis company.
Souk, SOUK.com, $580 million.
What the hell is that? I don't know what that is.
I don't know, man.
Look it up.
Quidsy, QUIDSI, $550 million. Elemental Technologies, $300 million. It says $0.30 billion, so I'm assuming $300 million, right? And Audible, $280 million. These are all the things that it's bought.
Audible's their podcast deal.
Man, they're everywhere. They own all sorts of... I can't believe they bought MGM. What a blockbuster deal. Guy owns everything. What's he going to buy next? He's got a... Don't forget, he's putting rockets into outer space. Sometimes companies get so big in this country that it's amazing how much they actually own. They just buy everything. They got so much money. Oh, the streaming is so big now. Everywhere you go, everybody wants to stream. We've got Disney Plus, Hulu, HBO Max, ESPN Plus, Showtime, Paramount Plus,
Talkcast PDX.
AMC, and Talkcast PDX. The new frontier of talk in America. Talk radio is dead. Welcome to Talk Digital. 503-234-0762. That's the number people can call in to talk to hosts. And more of our shows are going to be doing live talk shows. This is breakthrough. It's game-changing. It's revolutionary. It's the future has come to the present. It is Talkcast.
It's been
PDX.
It's been here for a while. We're just now showing people we're doing
like
it.
who?
I'm just saying.
Who?
People
Totally
have been doing,
digital platform, not a talk radio station simulcasting.
People have been doing these
but
talk
not
shows.
to this level. We're at a whole other level.
We're more focused. We're focused on local yokel.
Local community talk for Portland. Hey, we're talk radio guys from the radio industry. We're just doing what we know on a digital platform with no FCC guidelines and regulations. In other words, you can freely say what the hell you want to say anytime you want to say it.
Yep.
And that's my plug for today and my promo and the end of today's show. 3-day weekend. We won't be here Monday because we're all going to be having a good time traveling around. I'll be heading to Central Oregon to do some fishing. I can't wait. So have a great Memorial Day weekend. I'm Citizen Smith. You've been listening to this show live on TalkCastPDX.com. Portland's portal to talk.